What's up, everybody? My name is Jason, and welcome to Small Biz. The Fed hikes rates by 25 basis points and says ongoing hikes are going to be necessary. I thought it'd be interesting in real time to tell you what goes on inside of this head during moments like this. You may have heard me say in the past, first move, wrong move. The first move, and we were down 300, is to go up a bit. Now we're only down about 260. So it would not surprise me, and I'm 2 hours away from the close, if we end up closing lower than down 260 right now. But I want to talk about, what do I use in terms of the sites, the mobile apps? What technical indicators are important to me as I watch the market trade around and the bond market adjust to what the Fed language is, which again, I can't hear now in the press conference. It's still 30 minutes away. So ladies and gentlemen, if you want to make some money in the fucking stock market, pull up a chair. Grab a cup of coffee, ice cold beer, glass of wine, whiskey on a big rock. Here we go. All right. How have we made 1,100% on our money in the last 14 months? Stick around. I'm going to tell you exactly what I do. All right, you got a pen there handy? I like a site called investing.com. Investing, ING.com. It gives me the VIX, the fear index, currently right now at 19.5. So it's down a bit. It was at 20 about an hour or so ago. The market right now is going the other way. We're down 360 points. So as I said, first move was up. Wrong move, generally going down. We'll see where we close. The VIX is at 19.5. You pay attention to that. The dollar is down. That's generally good for stocks, inverse relationship. So rates come down, dollar comes down. Normally, stock market goes up. When the dollar goes up, when rates go up, normally the stock market comes down. And you may have heard me say on Twitter, because I tweet about 30 times a day now, that we just had our best month for the NASDAQ 100, the QQQ, in the last 20 years. So we've had a huge run. Tesla bottomed out at 102, was trading at 180 the other day. So whoever got short that stock at 105, when I said to buy it, is really getting raked over the coals. All right, we're down 365 right now. So investing.com. You're going to want to pay attention to the dollar, the VIX. I also watch oil, gold, and silver. But those are the big ones that I like to get, in addition to the charts, believe it or not. At investing.com. But I'm also a huge fan, and you've seen me share the charts from my mobile app, of Yahoo Finance. Full disclosure, I've been trading the stock market for 30 years. I spent almost 15 years on Wall Street as a broker. So I got acclimated to Yahoo Finance in the 1990s. And as far as I'm concerned, you can't beat it. It's simple. It's easy to understand. The new mobile app gets better all the time. So I use investing.com. I also use Yahoo Finance. I like the charts. I like the trending tickers. I like the way that you can build lists. I have about 15 or 20 stocks, 2 or 3 that I might pull the trigger on right now. We've got 18% cash. More on that in a second. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Again, when we launched the podcast, and I'll be over here, by the way, facing this way, big screen TV here, the SB Heart logo behind me. It's going to be fucking amazing. I mean, come on. Did you see my tweet, by the way? We have 6,000 members or thereabouts, and we're going to turn 1 year old on February the 26th. If each one of our 6,000 members had put $5,000 into my stock picks on Twitter at TrySmallBiz in the last 14, 15 months, 5,000 times 6,000 is $30 million. At 11x, after 137 trades in the last almost year and a half, that $30 million would be worth, wait for it, $360 million. And out of that $330 million of capital gains, if you followed me in and out, and I shared all the trades wide open for everyone to see, that $330 million in capital gains would have paid me as a premium member at $1 a day about $135,000. So you tell me, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to know in the comments, Larry Poulin, Tammy Murphy, Patrick Vincent, you know who you are. If somebody gives you Or if you give someone, $135 or $40,000 and they go, by the way, here's $330 million of capital gains. In other words, your $5,000 would be worth north of $55,000. A $10,000 investment in my stock picks would be worth over $110,000. We just made 40%. GMBL. I did a video yesterday. I told you to buy GMBL at under 11 cents. I sold the fucker at 153 in the pre-market. That's 40% overnight. 140,000 to me. Most of that goes to taxes, insurance, server costs, etc. I spend about $3,000 a month to help pay $10,000 a month in bills. So that 135 or 40 grand turned into $360 million. 330 million of which is pure capital gains, 11x per person. Can you fucking imagine? And there's people on my wall, as the market is now coming back up, only down 300. There's people on my wall that have shared screenshots where they've gotten a 555 to 1 return on investment. Two guys, and you can see it at Try Small Biz on Twitter, paid me $72 for 2 months. $1 a day. The monthly's a little higher. We're about to change that in the next few weeks. So they paid me $72 for 2 months as a premium member, and both of them, and they screenshotted their own accounts. I didn't ask them to do it. They whited out their account number, of course. They both made $40,000 in profit. Let's see. We give Jason $72, and he gives us $40,000 back. 72, 40,000. 72, 20,000. 72, 10,000. 72, 5,000. I could cut the fucking thing in half 7 or 8 times, and you still made 10 to 20 to 1. That's why when you guys sit here and you wonder why I get so aggravated when I can't get any more than 300. We had 3 people join today. God bless you. We need your support. Thank you very much. We're at about 380 premium members. We have 6,000 members. We have 160,000, almost 70,000 on Facebook alone. And I can't get 98% of them to listen to a fucking thing I say when in fact, you could have paid me 140 G's and I would have turned it into $330 million of capital gains. I'm starting to think maybe I should start my own hedge fund, right? We'll just send Jason the money, right? I can hear you. I hear it. Yeah. Just send me the money and I'll fucking trade the money around for you. And you'll just have to look at your statement every month. Well, Alan, guess what? We lost money this month, but he came back. We were up 70%. We made 241% this month in 4 different stocks, including GMBL, which was up 40% overnight. All right, we're down 260. So up, down, up. We're within 30 points of where we were when Jerome Powell pulled the trigger. Again, I can't see the balance of the statement. I thought it would be fun to go blind. I'm assuming that Jerome Powell is going to come out and say, we ain't done yet. Yes, we throttled it back from 50 basis points to 25. But we got to keep our boot on the throat of inflation. This stock market rally is the worst thing in the world for the Fed. It's the worst thing in the world. When you got a Tesla up 75%, when you got the NASDAQ having its biggest month in 20 years, that's inflationary. That raises asset prices. That curtails the layoffs, which was going to help us cool the economy off. So Powell is going to come out swinging. I can promise you that in about 15 minutes. What he says or how he says it, I'll have to see. So, going back over to Yahoo Finance, let's talk about, while I still have, let's call it a couple of minutes, what do we own and why? GMBL got out in the pre-market. It was as high as 17 cents. I know a lot of you thought it was going to the moon because of that other fucking stock that went up 20x. A lot of crazy shit going on in the market, but it doesn't mean everything we buy is going to go up 20-fold in 24 hours. So I got out at 153 in the pre-market. I bought it back at 0.1166, which was within a fraction of a cent off the low. So my new average on GMBL, it's a gaming stock, esports, which are on fire right now, is 0.1122. If you can buy it in the 11s or even less, GMBL, and be patient with it, I say it's a go. Two new ones, LHDX. Larry Harry, David X-Ray, Paul Bob, Larry Allen. LHDX, we bought it at 0.362. It's 38.5. So it's up a bit. Don't chase it. When I give you a limit and I say buying half a position, we get a lot of questions on that, by the way. I always tell you put about 10% into one idea. When you go more than that, and I occasionally go to 12, 13, 14%, you're asking for trouble. Because if you get an XELA like we have right now that's down 20, 30, 40%, depending on where you own it, it can ruin your account. But if you put 10% or thereabouts into each idea, you won't wreck your portfolio. So when I say buying a half a position, I'm putting $500 on a $1,000 investment, for example, in initially. And then I like to add, ideally, the other half or the other $500 on a pullback. So I bought half a position of GMBL at 0.362 and a half a position of PBLA at 149. But I added to the PBLA at 146. I think my average is 148. PBLA is currently 152. Again, don't chase. Now you decide. If you want to pay a penny or two higher, that's up to you. But I'm fucking maniacal. A percent and a half, 2% drives me nuts if you're wasteful. So don't chase. There's always another train leaving the station. Those are two that are new. I like them. I own slightly more than a half a position on PBLA. I'm waiting to buy more LHDX at 37 or less. BBIG. They came out and delayed 2 more weeks. Don't ask me how they got approval for an additional extension from NASDAQ. I personally think that they've got some whale that's trying to buy a massive amount of fucking stock. So the stock crashes down to 60 cents on the low. I bought some more, brought my average ultimately from 92 cents a month ago, now down to 78. Right now, BBIG is at 69 cents. So it recovered from that initial crash, if you will, down to 60 on the news and fought its way all the way back. So BBIG in the 60s cent range, it's a go. I think the stock is going much higher, especially if they ever get close to banning TikTok, which it competes with. They're huge. In fact, I think they're number one. Lemotive, which BBIG owns, is number one in India, which, by the way, just overtook China in terms of the largest population on the planet. I'm not sure you're aware of that, but it happened about 3 months ago. COMS, yeah, it likes to run to 8.5, 9, ran all the way to 12, right? The naked short war, hashtag COMS ran from 7 cents to 12 the other day. What did I tell you to do? I told you to sell it at 0.1087. We made about 40%. It came all the way back down. I started buying it again in the low 8s. I bought more this morning at I think 0.75 or yesterday. My average on COMS is 0.77 or 0.78. If you can buy it in the 0.7s, COMS, I would do it all day long. ENSC, I own it at 69 cents, currently at 70. You'll notice ENSC, PBLA, LHDX, healthcare and or biotech. Healthcare and or biotech, a little bit of gaming, and some small cap technology. Those are the high beta, highly volatile stocks that have been absolutely eviscerated, but are showing relative strength, especially in the last. GMBL is coming back down now. It's 0.1166 again. So again, I bought it there this morning on what I sold at 153. I'm sitting at 1122, which is my average on GMBL to buy even more because I have 18% cash. So as I said in a tweet, I will add 8% cash to GMBL, LHDX if I can get it at 37 cents or less. And I don't know, one of the other stocks that we currently own, which gives me enough cash, about 10% cash, for one more new idea. The VS, Victor Sam, I was all over that stock all week long last week. At 61 2 cents, the fucking thing just tripled. So I'm telling you, our stock screeners, with the help of Yahoo Finance, the technicals and the commodity and the VIX pricing at investing.com, and just 30 years of pattern recognition, is how we were able to turn what could have been for many of you 5,000 into over 55,000. And we've got some people that have made $40,000 net profit in the last 2 fucking months. So as a group, you guys would have paid me, in case you didn't hear me, the other 4 times I've said it, you'd have paid me in the last year about 140 grand, almost all of it going to ads on Facebook, the federal government, because I'm a single guy, they take damn near half of my money between the state and federal, and a tiny amount helps me pay my mortgage or go out to eat every once in a while, usually on a Friday night. So that's a small peek into my world. Let's take one more look, ladies and gentlemen, as to what the market is doing. Now we're going back down again. First move, wrong move. Again, the first move was up. We came down. We went back up. Now we're coming back down, in my opinion, in closing. 4,100 on the S&P 100 has been a brick wall for more than a year and a half. We breached it intraday, but to my knowledge, we have not closed above 4,100 on the S&P 500. Right now, we're at 4060, but there's a triple top right there. So if I had to bet, based on my experience, we may rally up tomorrow and or Friday, but someone's going to pull a rug. It may be induced by something Jerome says in about 10 minutes. It might be something that Putin does. It might be something that Beer Nuts Biden and or the cackler, who's the vice president of this country, right? She'd laugh at a funeral. Can you believe it? What a clown show. By the way, you'll notice I pin my stock averages on Twitter. So if you're busy and you can't follow until we set up another channel and or Discord and you get pinged automatically, just check my Twitter page at Try Small Biz at Night, and I pin at least 2 or 3 times a week what I buy. And sometimes you'll get a better price than I do, and sometimes you won't. But again, don't chase. Wait for it to come to you. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, always remember that I love you, and thank you so much for watching.